Hi, everyone. I think we will wait just a second here before we kick it off. Give everybody else a little bit to get in here. All right. I think we can get started. And we are recording today. So if you're not able to make it or have to jump off early, we can share this presentation afterwards. But thank you, everyone, for coming today. This is our first event as EDPA Northwest of 2024. And we are very excited to be here today. As EDPA Northwest, we are a nonprofit organization whose mission is to advance the interests of members engaged in the design, production, and service of exhibits, events, and experiential environments. And none of this would be possible without all of our amazing volunteers. So on the screen, you will see our EDPA Northwest board members. We have Taylor Freckleton with Fusion Imaging. We have Anna Rembold with MedEvent. We have Cindy McElvaney with RS Displays, Mel White at Classic Exhibits, and Nicole Klein at Exhibit Expressions. We have Jenny Cohn at Condit and Stan Bender at City Graphic Solutions. And then myself is Emma Kristen, and I am at CSI Worldwide. And this year, we would like to thank our platinum sponsors. Our sponsorships did just open. So if you are interested, please let us know. So far this year, we have B Matrix and CSI. So thank you so much for your participation. And before we jump in today, I do want to cover a few additional upcoming events that we have on our radar. So we have Chapters Collide at Exhibitor Live. This will be our 4th annual event. We are hosting it this year at the Lookout at Old Red. It's on Broadway of downtown Nashville. It's from 8 to 10 p.m. If you are interested, please sign up because we are limited to a head count this year. So it is first come, first serve. And then we have our Discovering Pain Points with Al Simon. It's another online webinar scheduled for March 28th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. As EDPA Northwest, we are doing webinars every other month this year. So we have our first 2 lined up. Obviously, today is our first one. And then March, you will see our second topic. And so with that being said, some areas of growth of our industry that we could use is 3D design, CAD, graphic design, interior design, all of the topics that you see listed on the screen. But as we prepare for these bi-monthly webinars, if you have a topic or specific interest that you would like us to highlight, please let us know. And we would obviously love to take it into consideration, making these events beneficial for you. So then as we get started today, I would like to introduce Brad. He is the VP of Marketing at Captello, an award-winning event software platform that provides universal lead capture, event engagement and gamification, event registration, event sales and marketing solutions. And he's been in different facets of the marketing for about 3 decades now, with 5 years of full time in the events industry, and helping meeting and event professionals make the most of their experiences and connections. So Brad will take it away from here, and I'm excited to see what he has to say today. And then we can also connect you with Brad after this. So go ahead, Brad.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Emma, for the opportunity to present to the EDPA Northwest chapter and our other guests today. I actually lived in Washington State in Puyallup for about 13 years and graduated college in Seattle. So it's always fun to connect with people in the Northwest. And I want to thank you all for attending and welcome to the webinar. I'm excited to meet with you today and discuss leveraging the power of universal lead capture for event success. So I hope you're all well and ready to embark on a journey of digital discovery today. So let's get started. Today we have 3 categories of learning. The first is the benefits of a universal solution. Second is the differentiating features of universal lead capture. And third, the hidden gems and best practices of universal lead capture. On a side note, this is an interactive presentation, and we're going to have some Q&A opportunities at the end of each segment. So if you have any questions or comments while we're on a certain topic, feel free to use group comments so we can address those questions during or after the presentation. So let's get into it with part 1, the benefits of a universal solution. First, I would like to ask you the question, why are you attending your event and what are your goals? At the very least, you should walk away with some kind of conversations that have a potential to further your business opportunities. And with that said, selecting lead retrieval solutions should really be a process and not a last-minute decision or a default offering that the organizer offers. Take, for instance, when you walk onto a car lot and you're going to shop for a new car, how many of you would love to bring me along so I can recommend colors and options for your new car? How many of you would be okay with just taking whatever the auto dealer wants to sell you? Hey, you know, we've got a VW we haven't been able to sell for a couple of years, so let's go in and sign for it. I don't think any of you would fall for that trick. In the same way, I hope none of you approach an event taking on the attitude that, well, we're just going to use whatever lead capture solution the organizer wants us to have. Because like cars and trucks and SUVs and RVs, lead capture solutions are very different, and they give you choices that are of extreme importance. One vehicle might only accommodate 1 rider. Another may accommodate 8. In the same way, one lead capture solution may equip only 1 user. Another may equip everybody on your team. And so this is just the beginning of the differences. So for beginners, I think it's important for you to understand what to expect from your lead capture solution. What are the options? And how important are these options to my business? For instance, how many of your booth staff are going to be able to scan leads with your solution? And how much is it going to cost for each person? Many organizers and registration providers are going to charge you for every single user that uses that solution. And the problem with this is that it really forces you into a situation where you have to choose who gets to capture leads at the show or share a device, pass it around. And that can be a real mess. A universal solution like Captello will allow you unlimited users under 1 license. So let's take a look at that word universal. What does universal mean? Using a universal lead capture solution can really open things up for you. Universal means everyone, everywhere, every event, and more. So the universal concept should really work to broaden and expand how you see lead capture and what you're expecting from it. Number 1, I said it will allow everyone. In other words, you should really think in terms of equipping a lead capture army at your event, from the smallest person on your team, and I mean maybe the most insignificant, even though I don't believe people are insignificant, I think, to the greatest role. I'm talking from the, I don't want to name titles, but from the CEO all the way down. Let your people be a lead capture army because you're all at different places on that show floor. Let them capture leads anywhere, from the show floor to sessions that they're in, to the airport and beyond. And let them use the same app experience show after show, so there's no confusion about how to use it and how it works. That's the home team advantage, no matter where you go. Now, our data shows Using a universal lead capture solution is going to increase the number you're able to capture by 400% on average leads. Why? Because you have more people in more places having more conversations. And they have a better understanding of the solution they're using because they're using the same solution, the tried and true one, over and over again at every event. They're not having to be trained on a different solution every time they go to an event. There's already a big enough learning curve. You're in a new city, you're in a new venue, you're at a new event, and now you've got to learn a new lead capture solution again. So let's take the stress away from the team and give them something they can rely on. So let me ask you too, what would you do with 5 times the leads at your next event? You'd have a problem. You'd have to report more conversations, more closed deals, and more success to your manager or director. What a horrible problem to have, right? And if you add gamification onto your lead capture, which is a Captello exclusive, you're going to gain another minimum of 35% increase of leads captured. Okay, so let's step back. You've taken and increased your lead capture by 4 to 5 times. But it's not all about quantity, Brad, right? It's about quality. Okay, so let's talk about how to get the best data. When it comes to lead capture, one size does not fit all. In other words, what data should your lead capture form include? If I were to ask one person in this meeting, one of you out there in the audience watching, to decide for every one of you what qualifying criteria you should have in your form, how your form should be laid out, what kind of branding it should have, what order your data should be in, would that be acceptable to you and your company? Not if your business or solutions are unique. That'd be horrible. So let's define what a lead is so we can talk about qualifying that lead. What is a lead? And you can feel free to comment. Let's keep it open. But a lead is a human with a name and an email. Let's just say that much. That's great. But that doesn't make the human a qualified lead for your company. You might only want enterprise clients or a human that can make purchasing decisions. If you have Starbucks for a lead, that would be awesome. But if your lead is a barista, you might have a difficult time landing a contract with the Starbucks corporate. So in other words, you should get to decide what qualifies a lead for your company, and you should get to build a lead capture form that can help qualify your leads according to your specifications and your opinion of how well a conversation went and how hot or not hot the lead is for your specific situation. One of the benefits of Captello's universal lead capture is the ability to customize your own forms. And you should look for a solution that allows you to do that, not a support team member. Captello offers a full service platform. So it's self-service, I mean. So in other words, you have total control over your forms 24/7, and it's supported by a 24/7, 365 support team. These form factors or qualifiers lead us to the next important step in the process, lead distribution. How are you going to distinguish and distribute your leads after the event? Well, you're going to use the criteria that you set up in your form to qualify your leads, not somebody else's form or some generic form that may do a horrible job of qualifying your leads. You might qualify them with lead rating. A lead rating is something we offer in our app. Simply, as part of the lead process, you can select anything from cold to warm to hot to urgent. You can customize these ratings so that your sales team can go after the urgents and the hots first and let the other ones, warm up or whatever they need to do. But those urgents and hots are the money. What is your honest opinion of how hot the lead is? Are they on fire for your solutions? Next would be urgency. Are they in a hurry? They need your solution like right now. Next would be decision-making ability. Are they a non-decision maker looking for free swag? Okay, great. Then that might be a good advertising opportunity to have individuals walking around with your swag, but you should be the one who's empowered to determine those things and figure out what to do with them based on your unique qualifiers. And next would be vertical. What vertical do they fit into in your product or solution stack? Like if your sales team sorts leads by vertical or region or some other distinguishing criteria, then include that in your form and make lead distribution automated, not a manual process. A process that sorts or distributes leads based on your unique criteria. Mind you, a universal lead capture solution is way more likely to integrate with your CRM or marketing and automation platform, which is going to make your follow-up and lead distribution an instantaneous and automated process versus you having to go through spreadsheets by hand, worry about human typos, and that's when you finally receive your leads after the show. So let's talk about lead follow-up post-show for a moment. When are you going to get your data? Wait a minute, let me rephrase that. When are you going to get your lead data? You paid for it, right? You paid for the app, you paid for the event, you paid, who knows, more than a car probably to go to that event. And how are you going to get your data? Most event organizers are going to deliver your leads in the form of a spreadsheet within a few days. Generally, some people take longer, but you're really at their mercy. And when you receive your leads, you're likely to do so at around the same time as your competitors. But what if you could get your prospects before your competitors do? How much would that be worth? Statistics show that 35 to 50% of sales are going to go to the vendor that responds first. Isn't that amazing? So in other words, it's not about your quality or your innovation or if you have the best support team. It's often just about who's getting back to the prospect first. That's crazy. Add that to your quality, your innovation, and your world-class support, and now you've got a serious edge over the competition. So on the topic of follow-up, how do you get there first? How do you make sure? I think, first of all, it's most important that you make sure that your app will integrate with your CRM or marketing automation platform so that you're getting your data first and you're able to respond to that data and follow up first. Your sales team has hands-on before any of your competition. Aside from that, there are some tactics, that you can use. First, a lead capture solution with integrated documentation follow-up. Okay, so let's say you're on the show floor, your prospect asks for supporting documentation. Yay, congratulations, you've earned the right to email them right away without being desperate or anything. If you're using Captello, the second you scan the lead, they select the documents they want, and then you submit the lead. Those documents get delivered instantly or on whatever timeline works best for you. A best practice is don't waste paper and shipping, printing a ton of documents when you can send items digitally. Make sure your lead capture solution has environmentally friendly ways to send documentation. Next, look for a lead capture solution with an integrated meeting scheduler. How many of you love playing cat and mouse with your prospects after the event, chasing them around on the phone and email, only to get no response? How about schedule the meeting on the spot in the app at the point of lead capture and omit that whole cycle of frustration that comes with chasing people around through voicemail and email? So send an automated post-show follow-up saying, hey, thanks for coming by the booth. Take a picture of you and your team in the booth, add it to your email and say, hey, thanks for coming by. This is the perfect opportunity to jog their memory, help them remember your face, start to recall bits and pieces of the conversation, customize the email, add an appointment reminder, offer a special deal or incentive, and show genuine appreciation for the time they invested in you on that show floor. And finally, Universal Lead Capture offers expanded ways to capture every lead. So you get 5 or 10 people from one company. What do? Who's the most important person to scan? Don't even worry about it. Turn on the rapid scan or the group scan and just hit all their badges. Boom, 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 and start your conversation. It's as easy as that. Next, you can use kiosk mode, something that we recommend no matter what. So a kiosk, like an iPad or some touchscreen device, allows you to capture leads, even if you're busy or even if they're shy. They may be curious, but they don't want to get into a big, long conversation or be sold. So with Captello, we have a setup where you can use kiosk mode. You simply launch the app on the device and you put it in a locked kiosk mode. And from there, you can have automatic splash screens and things that promote it. And they can go up and tap in themselves and submit their own form and get their own documentation. If you only capture 2% more leads this way, that's 2% more leads. And it could be a golden goose. Another thing you can use, and this is tied to our gamification feature as well, is a QR code. Maybe they don't want to use your kiosk. Maybe they just want more info. Scan the QR code or tap the NFC badge to get more information. And they can use their own device to do that. And when they scan that QR code, you can launch an experience. It could be a gamification. It could be a trivia. It could be a fun anything, opt-in, like a play to win with integrated lead capture. So now they're interacting with your brand. They're having fun doing it. They're incentivized to do it by a prize they can win. And you're maximizing your lead capture. So finally, and we're almost at the end of part 1. Make lead capture super important. Add the universal element and follow these practices. And it's going to set you on a path to success at your events, unlike what you've experienced before. It doesn't matter what size your booth is either. So it's the end of part 1. I want to open it up to a little bit of Q&A. And so if you have a specific question, please type it quickly in the comments section. I'll give you a few seconds, and then we can move on to part 2, differentiating or premium features of Captello Universal Lead Capture. I could play a little song here, but I'm not good at singing. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on. And you can continue to use the comment section to add those in, and we'll get to your questions at the end of this next segment, or at the end of the show, or the webinar. Part 2, differentiating or premium features of Universal Lead Capture. I'm going to start with a question, and you can feel free to answer in our comment section if you're comfortable doing so. What decade did you grow up in as a child? How many of you can guess what decade I grew up in? I can remember family vacations in the 70s in our yellow Monte Carlo. Getting to our destination always included these massive printed maps. You can imagine mom and dad unfolding this windshield-sized map and discussing. It could have been a heated discussion over which way to go until we finally arrived at our destination. And thank goodness things have changed a lot since the 1970s. So how do we do it today? Last year, our family vacation included multiple stops, including Phoenix, San Diego, Seattle, Victoria, BC. In order to get to all these places, we had to take 7 flights, 2 light rail trains, 2 3-hour ferry rides, multiple taxis and Ubers. We had to manage a lot of details to make our trip a success. Boarding passes and all. How do you think we kept organized? We did it with our phones. And I know all of you event professionals understand how important instructions are, team instructions, and why it's important to have them in one place, not 45 different links on how to get there and what we're going to do and who should be wearing what, but one place where updates can be made quickly. Everyone can easily access them without disparate URLs. So I want to introduce you to our Captello in-app staff instructions. I'm going to show you my phone here. We'll go into the Captello app really quick. You can see my different events that I'm going to be attending. I can simply tap in, click on instructions, and now every member of my team equipped with the Captello app can now get up-to-date information on everything that's going on every day. As a show manager, if I want to update that, I do so quickly. I can use HTML if I want, or just regular text. I can insert images, everything I want to do. So I'm just trying to emphasize how important it is to have one place in your lead capture app where you can provide team instructions. So now let's switch over to communications. If you've been involved in trade show management, you're going to know how important staying connected with your team is. Well, what are some obstacles to good team communication? You can feel free to respond with a word or two in our comments, or you can just continue to watch along. What are some obstacles? Some obstacles that we face are changes to team member contact information. When there's one person with a spreadsheet and there's 10 or 20, or in one case, we had 900 people scanning leads in a booth, one of our giant clients. How do you keep track of all those people and their contact information? It's crazy. So it's really not a good idea to do this on a spreadsheet. With Captello, each person can manage their own contact information and they can update that in the app, and it's updated for the entire team. Next is privacy issues. You know that some team members really do not want to share their personal phone numbers with large teams. It's true, and many people have different reasons for that. Next is availability. You don't know who has left the show floor. Was it a lunch? Was it a meeting? Was it a bio break? Where are they? And when are they going to be available again? And communication channels. Some people are texting, some people are calling, some use Slack, WhatsApp, WeChat. Which channel are we all talking on? The team needs one common place to communicate with select groups or individuals without concern for personal privacy or outdated information. And so we've facilitated that. Let me show you the device again with in-app conversations. The Captello app. We're going to pop in there again. If I just hit little bubbles or I hit conversations here, I can be taken into, I can assign people or groups that I want to have conversations with, and everybody gets notified in the one app. No one had to share their contact information. Perfect privacy, perfect communication in one location. And each person has the ability to show whether they're available or not at a glance. Okay, so you can see they either tap available or unavailable and off to go. I think we have a little video demo of that too. So let me pop in here and I can show you. See, I can tap available or unavailable and it automatically updates for everyone. Okay, all right. Another quick differentiating app feature that we have, and I specifically like it because I'm fair-skinned, is dark mode. So dark mode, as you can see, you can just quickly go in to your app settings. You can pop in and select dark mode, and bam, you're giving your eyes a great break. Take it easy on your eyes. Enable dark mode in the app menu, and what a relief it is. Okay, next is, let's say you're at an event. Your CEO or some other salesperson walks in and they want to be able to have access to scan leads. Well, how do you add that user? With our app, and let me show you in here, we allow you to invite users directly inside the app. I'm just choosing the event I want to grant access. I'm selecting the user and I am sharing with them. They're going to get their auth code, and their share invitation instantly, and done. I didn't have to get tech support involved. I did it myself. My team is super happy, and they're off scanning leads. Okay. One of the exciting benefits of that I think is unique to Captello, and I'm proud of it, is our licensing structure, which lets you add as many app users as you want under one license. So like I showed you, you can easily add unlimited users, create that lead capture army. And no matter how qualified they are, it doesn't matter because they're qualifying leads using your form data again. Okay, so don't be afraid to build yourself a lead capture army. Remember, forms allow any lead scanned to be assigned to any team member. So lead ownership is not an issue, no matter who scans the lead or where. Another differentiating factor is team and individual goals. So setting team and individual goals at events is really a strategic way to streamline efforts and maximize productivity. Let me show you in the phone really quick what that goals feature looks like inside the Captello app. It's really provides a structured approach to lead capture. See, I can see everyone on my team. I have my goals, my team goals, and where we are with those. Okay. And there we are. We can see some major progress. And what this does is it gives everyone a common goal. And not only fosters team spirit, but also enables individual accountability. So by tracking quantity and performance, managers can identify areas of strength and areas of improvement and optimize the overall effectiveness of the team. And furthermore, we can incentivize this process. What if you attach to it gift cards or rewards or prizes or bonuses that motivates your team members? Then they're going to be out there scanning leads and getting as many leads as they can to beat each other in a fun way. These tangible rewards not only recognize their hard work and achievements, but also create a positive, motivating atmosphere that encourages everyone to strive for success. So combining clear goals and enticing rewards creates a powerful mechanism for driving performance and ensuring lead capture is a success at every event. So on to our next differentiating feature. This is really cool. VIP and competitor alerts. Ah, the thrill of the event world, where the glitz of the lights and the hustle of the booth setup and the excitement of potential leads all melt together into a glorious cocktail of opportunity. But wait, you're scanning a lead and Captello buzzes in your hand with a pop-up alert. You just scanned a VIP and your trusty sidekick Captello is alerting you faster than a caffeinated squirrel spotting a nut. The importance of this is that VIPs often hold the keys to the kingdom. So if you're scanning someone and you don't realize that this is an ABM person that you've been outreaching to, and you've really had desperately wanted to, talk to this person, missing them could be like missing the chance to pet a unicorn. In contrast, the competitors are the spicy salsa on your nachos. Knowing when a competitor enters your booth and you've scanned them gives you really an opportunity to choose. Do you want to strut your stuff? Do you want to show off your product? Do you want to, throw in some cheeky banter or maybe misinform them a little bit so they can't snoop in on what you're doing? It's like playing a game of chess and you're ready for checkmate because you know when you scan their badge. So thanks, Captello, for these alerts. They're the secret sauce to event success. Next is the lead review process, lead review and lead editing. So after you've caught a lead, you want to add some voice notes or you want to update that lead. How do you do that? In the app in Captello, you can just go back to your leads. You can go into leads captured. Let's see if I can show you real quick. Tap the lead that you want to edit. And then you can go into the record and you can add or update on the fly. It automatically updates all your information after the fact. So you can really focus on that conversation. When the lead walks away or when you have more opportunity to add, you go back into the record, you add your voice notes, your written notes, you record your updates, and you're good to go. That gives your sales team really comprehensive data to go by. Next is the ability to measure our ROI. So huge. Do you know the statistics say that only 35% of exhibitors really measure their lead conversion rate to a closed sale? That is scary. So with Captello, it has a free CRM as a base to it platform, and it allows you to assign all of your leads to specific campaigns or events and to follow those prospects all the way through the pipeline from the moment you scan them through each stage in your pipeline to deal closed or lost. And then you can go back and see how much those deals were and really measure the true ROI of that event. So cool. Another thing we have is our lead analyzer. This is totally exclusive to Captello. And basically, you can see the different columns. You can set up your different columns and track the movement of every lead through the funnel. So the far left would be I just scanned the lead, they're a new lead. The next one is I assigned the lead to a salesperson. And you're just dragging these boxes from one column to the next. Each column can also have a fulfillment action or a triggered action. So let's say somebody's moved into the outreach or demo booked column. Maybe you want to send an email to your team or update some sort of metric, then the system can automatically do that for you. And now sales and marketing has a full view of where everyone is in the pipeline. Marketing is happy because they know that their leads that they bled, sweat, and cried over are being handled very well. Sales is happy because they know where everyone is in the pipeline and they can easily click on that lead, listen to the voice notes, know how to follow up, and know what they've followed up with a quick glance. So this is the part two. We're going to go ahead and take any questions in our comments section. And I don't see any new ones, so I'm going to go ahead and move us on to part three. And again, if you have comments or questions, please feel free to pop them in the comments section and we will get those answered at the end of the show. Next is part three, hidden gems and best practices. So in this segment, we're going to shine a spotlight on the best practices and customizable form features of lead capture, of universal lead capture. One best practice I always recommend is to use audio notes on every lead you capture. So what this does is helps you to capture the essence of the conversation, the excitement in your voice, the nuances. Maybe you're able to tell notes about uh, something about their family or something important to them that you can now have a recall to when you call them up and follow up. Another function that we have is an auditor. So if you're a manager and you want to train a team or a salesperson, you can turn the auditor recorder on and it's going to record that session and let you go back and listen to that so that you can coach them on best practices. Another thing we have now, let's take a look at form features. So form features, we have one that's called pre-approval lists. So this is for scanning registrants into a private presentation or exclusive experience. A lot of times we'll go to a show and we'll have a happy hour or we'll have a post-show event where we've invited exclusive groups of people or we've registered people. Captello makes that super easy to register them with customizable forms. But then once they've completed that form, they end up in a custom list. And that list can be attached to your badge scanning process. So now you're at the after hours experience. People are lining up. You're scanning their badge. You show that they've registered and that they've been invited to that event, and you can let them in. Next is our driver's license scanning solution. Just like business card scanning, license scanning is a way to scan attendees without an event API or a dev kit. And the cool thing about license scanning is that the information is always 100% accurate, unless they lied to the licensing authority. And it also allows you to make sure that the people are age appropriate. So you can scan that license and it can flag you if they are less than a certain age or if they're not qualified for a certain experience or event. It allows you to quickly collect their ID without scanning a badge, and it allows you to quickly qualify by age or location. Another option that we have, and it's available in every form, is the radio button versus multi-select with conditional data. So a radio button allows you to choose one of the options. A multi-select allows you to choose multiple options. And any of those options can be connected to conditional data. So let's say you want to know what a person's favorite food category is. And if they answer vegetables, then you want another question or qualifier to pop up. Well, this is called conditional data, and it helps you to qualify your leads in a deeper way. So those are available as an integrated part of every form that you create with Captello. Next is image capture. This is so powerful. So someone's written a note, or someone filled out a resume, or someone completed a paper form, and you don't want to have to transcribe all that into a document. Well, you can just scan the entire document. And we have two methods of transcription that are highly accurate. One is our AI-based transcription, and the other is human transcription. Now, human transcription does have a moderate cost to it. AI transcription is free, but slightly less accurate than human transcription. Either way, you're going to get your data transcribed either instantly or within 2 hours, so that that evening you can still be following up with those leads or those people that filled out those documents. Another thing is signatures. Signatures, let's say you're scanning job applicants, hiring, or certifying data. Or maybe you just want to accept a signature for opting into a certain communication nurture. That allows you to take those signatures and record them inside the app. And one final and very exciting thing that we would like to announce is this year we're releasing our AI-powered follow-up. And really, really super cool. If you can switch to the next slide here. Basically, you can go into any prospect's record and you can click AI follow-up. And on the next slide, it'll kind of show a little bit of an email. The AI is basically it's going to use all the data you entered in the form to learn about the prospect. It's going to look at all of its transcribed information from your voice notes, your written notes, and it's also going to pull in other information that it can find, such as a LinkedIn profile or something interesting about them in their social media. And it's going to use your criteria. In other words, you can tell it what the goal is, the desired tone of the writing, the desired length, and it's going to pre-write a follow-up to your event based exactly on what you want it to do. And you can edit or tailor that and then send it on. And it really saves time in the follow-up process. It allows you to be very personal with that prospect and have a very unique sort of communication with them. I think that stands out. So that is something coming very soon to Captello in 2024. And now we have reached the end of our presentation. And I want to share a couple of free resources with you as a thank you for joining the presentation today. Number one is our training university. Any one of you that want to get a free certification that you can add to your list of certifications or your email signature, or your job experience, go scan this QR code and you can go to our training university and get ULC certified for free. Okay. The next is our ultimate guide to lead capture ebook download. Deeper than we had time to go in today. This guide is your comprehensive handbook on how to do lead capture right, and it's free. So please take advantage of that, download that. I hope that helps you, and I hope this webinar helped you. Now, we'd love to hear your thoughts and answer any questions you have, and engage in any more discussion. So without further ado, let's open the floor here for a few seconds on the comments section, see if we have any other comments. Thank you, Mel. And I know that you've used our audio features on the show floor. I've seen you in action. You're a lead capture animal. I love that. So yeah, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and toss it back to Emma to close the webinar out. Thanks, Emma.
Yeah, no, thank you, Brad. And I actually do have a couple of questions myself, but hold on, let's see here. Mel is saying he's been using the lead capture solutions for 20 years. We used Captello for Exhibitor Live last year. It was by far the best solution I've used. So easy. I do have a couple of questions, like I mentioned, could you elaborate a little bit more on how you can take that information and import it into an existing CRM system? I know you had a slide and it was showing like Salesforce, things like that, of like exactly how easy or how live that transfer of information is.
Okay, so yeah, we do have a slide that talks a little bit about API or dev kits. So most registration providers will actually allow you, and they may not let you know, it might be a hidden little area in their web page, but they will let you connect to their database by virtue of a dev kit or an API. And that allows your marketing automation or CRM to connect live with that data. So then you're scanning the badge on that person at the event, and it's immediately tapping into the reg data, pulling that lead's information, and completing the form for you. And then you can continue through the form and answer those qualifying questions to further qualify that lead. Most of the time, those dev kits are available. In cases where they aren't, however, we have AI solutions, business card scanning, and document scanning that helps to populate those fields.
And is there a way to import photos? I know it's kind of weird, but is like part of the lead process.
You know what? That's a great question. Yeah, we have an image. You can snap an image and keep it in there, a little selfie thing. We have also have a networking icebreaker activation that allows people to scan their selfies in, and different ways to do that. But I believe, and I'm not in our back end to look right now, but I'm going to say yes. And we could, discuss that further if someone has a further question about back end functionality.
All right, awesome. Thank
But
you.
yeah, it would be like scanning a document. If you can take a picture of a document, you can take a picture of a human as well. It's just going to save it in the prospect record.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And thank you everybody for attending today. And if you want more information, we will get you Brad's contact information. We'll send this out afterwards, but also you can find him at Exhibitor Live in booth number
309.
309. And so he will be there if you have any additional questions. And then also, if you'd like to stay active in the EDPA Northwest, visit our website at edpanorthwest.com. And you can get active on there, follow our events, as well as find sponsorship opportunities. And that is all we have for today. So thank you guys, and see you at Chapters Collide February 27th at 8 p.m.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.